Tracy found fencing.
The exterior.
The exterior fence. Tracy found fencing this morning because privacy fencing is expensive, but there's screens that you can put on the outside.
The windscreen panels.
They have like messages on them. Can you see some puppies on there running on the screen, and then it says you're an eighth of a mile away from saving a life. Animal Compassion Team.
Oh, I like that.
Because it is my mission to put Animal Compassion Team logo on the top of that water tower.
Right now, this piece belongs to Fresno Irrigation District, but they've been letting them use the property for the last 64 years. They're working on reestablishing the property line, so it's ours to do improvements on. Until then, we can use it as if it were ours. So where we're standing is right here in the receiving parking lot. So that would be for volunteers and for people bringing in animals to assess or to surrender. And then there's the main building, which is in 4 basic wings, and the front entry and the public parking lot. And then this is a fenced-in yard. This is a fenced-in yard. This is a fenced-in yard. This we'd like to have kennels and small play yards. And these are all established kennels already. This back parking lot we probably wouldn't need, and long-term goal would also to put a structure with kennels and yards. And then this outbuilding right here, the barn and the holding and the workshop, there are also some built-in kennels and or places we could use for kennels, and that's going to be Brenda's parvo ward. And it's bordered by Golden State, but there's a green buffer there, and then Orange Avenue.
Now, first off, dream goggles, okay? Remember, I want you to think in terms of you're coming out that back door as an adopter or a volunteer who's trying to get away from the world and loves animals. And this whole area has been converted into a courtyard, a nice, comfortable play area where you've got maybe puppies playing over here, and this is fenced in because this can be sanitized easily. I see us building a fence through here to cover up all of that, and putting a path, and then having kennels that go all the way from here all the way down that fence line, and this whole thing being fenced in, and having play yard outside of those. So the dogs have their little kennels that they can be safely contained in, but they can come out and run and play. So you're an adopter who's standing here, and you can actually walk through there and see all the dogs playing, or you can stand right here
and interact with them, and they could be in groups, like in pods of 3 kennels, multiple dogs per kennel if it's comfortable. And so, during the day it's out time and they're playing with each other, and people are going in to play with them, and at nighttime it's Betty Bye, and they get similar to, again, that transition between a shelter environment and a home.
One of the things we want to do we're developing is we always want to keep in mind, we want to do things that will encourage potty training, not discourage potty training, because that's one of the biggest things that will turn people off on a dog. And if it spends too much time in a shelter environment, it loses its potty training often. A lot of times they'll get it back, but it's still really difficult for them. So we want to set them up to where they're constantly being encouraged to potty in appropriate places, so when they go into a home they can make a smooth transition. And then also, I took a course, we did a seminar one time with Dr. Dunbar from San Francisco, SPCA, and they talk about shelter training, and that's something we haven't been able to do as fosters because you're in a home environment, but when you're in a shelter environment you can do some specific shelter training, and that's some stuff that we really want to be able to do, is like teach volunteers appropriate training techniques. So like you ask a dog to sit and wait before you open up a kennel door, so that when an adopter comes they're not getting rushed by the dog, or if the dog happens to have pooped in its kennel and it's bounced around in it, you can avoid being covered in puppy or poopy paw prints. So anyway, you can imagine this is green, this is beautiful, and there are dogs running and playing. We figured we could put at least 15 kennels along here, and if the dogs are dog friendly, and that's what we're going to shoot for, is dog friendly dogs, we could easily have 2 dogs in each run. So you're looking at easily being able to house up to 30 dogs in this area and give them a really, really good quality life. this I would like to set up as our senior dog yard. And I want to set it up so that we have comfortable living areas for the dogs that are climate controlled, where they can be comfortable summer or winter. But also it's their little area. It's the senior area. Somebody comes in and they say, I've got this old dog that I can't take care of anymore and I don't know what to do with it. And we can say, there's room in the senior dog area and they're up for adoption. They are looking for a good home that wants a senior dog because they're golden. But if they stay here for the rest of their life, that's okay too, because we want to make it comfortable for them so that they live. And I don't know how we'll work out all the details, and there probably won't be a lot of small dogs living out here. The larger breed dogs will probably be the ones, because the small dogs can come out and play. But we'll probably set up a way inside for indoor housing, unless the weather's nice, and who knows, we could get it perfect and it could just be senior heaven. But this is a nicely lit area for nighttime events. It's also a really great training yard for winter time to be able to come out and do classes, because one of the things that we're going to be doing as soon as we make this our home and it's open to the public is we're going to be grouping training classes in our adoption fee. Again, the only difference is the classes are going to be done in-house. So this would be what we would consider to be healthy intake, and this is where everything would begin. Again, assuming that they're healthy. If we have somebody come in and then we figure out, oh my gosh, we've contaminated the room for the day, then we might come up with an alternative plan. The key for us here is going to be to continuously be smart and on our game, and always thinking 5 steps ahead when it comes to health.
I'd also like to have a little seating area to finalize adoptions, so it's a real pleasant, warm place because of the wood and the natural lighting. Adopters, I've decided I want to adopt Fritzy. All right, come on in here, have a seat, bring Fritzy in if you want, and finish your adoption. And then while you're here, you want to buy a shirt, you want to buy a
litter box, some cat toys.
We can get some of that stuff so that things adopters might want, as well as a little income generating. But it's not a huge room, but it could be used for that kind of stuff, and for a volunteer meeting area too, if we work it out right.
We're talking about selling these bricks, putting plaques on them it's a donor wall. So if people want to make a donation, we put a plaque
so
on it.
Your donor wall. We could take that whole thing off if we want.
Or we could having our pet of the week exposed in here, but making this really friendly. Yeah. Lots of good information.
This is the public parking lot. I am with me and my family. We're looking for a new family member, and we're gonna go check out what they've got at the ACT Center. So they come in through those double gates, they park, and this is where they come.
We got to figure out signage and how we're going to do our sign, and of course getting this all cleared out and putting nice landscaping in it that's easy to maintain but looks great. And again, is warm and welcoming. Holly Design Works, they have so many fountains and sculptures and all kinds of cool stuff. So I could even see a sculpture of a really cool dog or a cat right there. Yeah, something when you're coming in. Who knows?
Yeah. This could even be, I mean, we probably want walkway access, so this would be a cool area if you just wanted to.
This tells me that irrigation might be something we have to work on.
Well, I think we go real low maintenance up here. But we could make little patio garden area kind of vibe going on, so it looks good from the street. But also, like, if I wanted to walk a dog and I just wanted to get away from the hubbub, or yeah, Cemex. Fallon works for Cemex, and they have a new driveway surface that they're trying to roll out, and she's working on, and they're entertaining the notion. I'm going to take the measurements today so she can write up a proposal. But they potentially would come out and donate the materials. So we would have to remove the asphalt, and I actually, someone who I think I could get to do that, potentially free, and remove the asphalt, and then they'll dump it all for us, and we just have to kind of do the finish work. And then I also apparently I know somebody who does striping, who could put the lines down on the parking lot. So in theory, maybe within the next 6 months, we could have a donated parking lot, redone, courtesy of a couple donors.
So this is where the paperwork's going to get processed, where everything that has to do with our basic stuff is going to happen is all right here. There's plenty of workspace for now, but we figure this is going to be a great place to get started and to to be able to organize ourselves so we can avoid those I didn't get my paperwork emails, because it's so hard when you're working out of the back of a car all the time.
And again, we have a lot of people who would be willing to volunteer some clerical services, but what are they going to do right now? Come to my, my kitchen? So now we can have workstations that are kind of open for rotating volunteers to sit down, make follow-up phone calls, file paperwork, make whatever needs to be done. Now it can expand beyond just the people who are, yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh. It's good. I can't even wait to start moving stuff out of the garage and moving it over here.
And the state, when they left the building, it's as is, so all this stuff is here. Because that would, if we just purchased some building and it was empty, I mean, this is real expense. So now we have it all to move out and put in storage if we choose, or leave in and use.